Today we're taking a look at a brand new product. This is the reedom H1 from Chauvet DJ. Now the reedom H1 from Chauvet just actually came out very recently. It just arrived in stores. It actually just arrived at I DJNOW yesterday. Now the reedom H1 comes in a pack of 4. You get this hard shell carrying case with a zipper, a carrying handle. You get a charging bundle which allows you to charge all 4 lights at once using one IEC cable. And then you get the 4 fixtures themselves, an IR remote so you could change the colors, along with 4 diffusers and magnetic gel frames to hold those diffusers in place. Now the reedom H1s are hex LEDs. It comes with one 10-watt hex LED in each one, which is essentially 1/4 or 1/4 of the Freedom Par Hex 4, which I have back here as well. So I use those as my standard up lights, and I decided the H1s are going to be a perfect addition because they match perfectly with those, meaning I could DMX them together both in 12-channel mode, both on the same address, and they will do the same thing. They will color mix the same and everything because they both have hex LEDs, meaning they have red, green, blue, amber, white, and UV. Now the reedom H1s are super tiny. They will fit in the palm of your hand just like so. They are actually even smaller than I expected them to be when I took them out of the box. But I was super impressed with the brightness and the light output of these when they're turned on. Basically, there's a little switch on the bottom of them. As soon as I flip it on, because I have this addressed to the same as the others, it's going to come right on matching those. Also on the bottom of it, you have an LED 4-digit menu display. Around that display you have 4 control buttons. You've got your typical Chauvet buttons, the menu button, the enter button, and the up and down button to cycle through different modes and settings and set the DMX address. One thing you'll notice is this thing goes into a standby mode where you'll see 4 dashes on the screen. That is actually indicating the battery life. This is one of my favorite features of these. As you guys might know, with the Freedom Par Hex 4s, you've actually got battery indicator LEDs there that show you the battery percentage that is left on your Hex 4s. Now on these, to save space on the body itself, they actually did not include those, but the menu shows you. So those 4 dashes means that this light has 100% battery. Now while we're on the topic of battery, these lights will last 20 hours on one single color. Now if you have all the colors full on, they'll actually last a full 8 hours, which is great because most events are maybe 4 to 6 hours. So that means you can get a full event out of each light, plus or minus a few hours of setup and takedown. One thing you'll notice to save space on these, there are no Dmx connections, so you cannot hardwire these, but they do come with a built-in wireless transceiver built into these things. That allows you to connect to the Chauvet DeFi hub or the Chauvet FlareCon, which also gives you wireless control via your iPod just like this. Now I've got this iPad hooked up to these via the FlareCon wirelessly. You'll notice I could quickly change the color just by hitting buttons on this screen. You also have control over these things via the included IR remote from Chauvet, and of course you could always use the DeFi hub or the FlareCon to control them wirelessly using any Dmx console or software. You might notice on the side of these also, again to save space on the unit itself and make them as compact as possible, Chauvet used DC power to power these and charge the batteries. Now inside the case itself, you'll notice there's a charging brick included. That charging brick allows you to plug an IEC cable into that charging brick, and then from that charging brick there is 4 DC power plugs that you can then plug into your 4 different fixtures, and you're good to go charging all of them off one single outlet or one single IEC cable. Now that is almost all the features on the H1 itself. As I mentioned before, there's a removable magnetic gel frame on here, and it comes with a small diffuser. The last thing on the H1 is this yoke. This allows you to easily place it on a table surface and angle it up or down. It also has a built-in magnet, which is perfect to hang it off anything metal and even rig it from the ceiling. In the center of this magnet, you'll also notice there is a hole. I believe it is the standard M12 size hole, so you could put any kind of C-clamp or O-clamp through it and hang it off any kind of truss or pipe or something like that. Now that is pretty much it for the H1 fixture itself. It has a bunch of built-in color macros and auto shows just like the Freedom Par Hex 4s and the rest of the Freedom Pars, which makes it great as a standalone fixture if you were using it for something like lounge decor or lighting up some LED dance stages or something like that, where you just want to place these on a static color off in the side of the room. Now, one of my favorite things besides the size of the H1 is the case it comes with. This case has hard padded foam, which is actually cut out to fit the 4 fixtures perfectly. When the fixtures slide in, it leaves the DC power accessible, which is perfect for you to charge them in the case. However, there is a note on the front of this case here: do not charge them with the lid closed. It could easily overheat. It's never a good idea to charge things while you're kind of suffocating them. You want to give them space to fan out because they do heat up when they're charging. This case, as I mentioned, has the cutouts for the lights, but it also has a cutout for the power brick in the middle, a cutout for the IR remote, and even a cutout in the back for your IEC cable, along with some other accessories. This case closes, zippers up, and gives you a nice carrying handle so you can easily transport and pack this thing without worrying about breaking the fixtures. Speaking of breaking these fixtures, I was really impressed with the build quality. I was expecting them to be a little cheaper and smaller than the actual Freedom parts, especially at the price they come in. The price is unbeatable. They retail at about $5.99. If you guys are interested in purchasing these fixtures, feel free to visit the description below. I'll have links to IDJNOW's website, which is where you could purchase these fixtures. If you guys are in the New York or Long Island area, also visit the Babylon or Queens showroom locations of IDJNOW. You can speak to one of the guys there. They might even have some of these on display so you guys can see them in person, and I'm sure they could hook you up with a great price as well. Once again, guys, these are the Freedom H1s from Chauvet DJ. And of course, if you have any questions, comments, concerns, any thoughts on the Freedom H1s, feel free to leave them down in the comments below, and I'll be sure to reply as soon as possible. As always, guys, thank you for watching. My name is Brandon Havrilla. I hope you enjoyed.